Okay, I've written a book called The Origin of Specious Nonsense, and I want my book to be judged by its cover, because on the cover you have a cell that has just split. That means the sperm has just hit the egg, and just imagine these two are going to, one's going to become the baby, one's going to become the placenta. Now remember that a young man is producing 1,000 sperm a second. That's 100 million a day. At ejaculation, that's around 500 million. Every single one of them has the father's entire genetic makeup, 23 chromosomes, and they're all racing for that egg, which scientists say has a beautiful aroma that attracts the sperm. The sperm have a head and a tail, and the tail drops off just as they start burrowing into the egg. So, out of 500 million, one sperm gets through to the egg. The woman has had 500,000 eggs in her tiny little ovaries since she was a 5-month-old fetus in her mother's tummy. Now remember, the woman never produces another egg in her life, but mysteriously and wonderfully every month chemically releases one egg. And out of that 500 million, you and I were born. How lucky is that? Now you have to think about that. The female egg has 23 chromosomes. The male sperm has 23 chromosomes. Out of 500 million, usually on average 100 are around the egg, trying to get in. And once the first one gets in, which was you and I, an amazing chemical lockdown happens. And no other sperm can enter the egg. If they do, there would be a natural abortion. Now you have to think about that. That is amazing. Out of 500 million, one gets through. And what happens? On the cover of my book, there it is about to split into one cell. And inside here there are 3,000 million chemical letters that becomes a human being. Now evolutionists tell you, oh, it just happened. Bullshit! Didn't just happen. Evolution breaks the first rule of science. And there it is. In my kitchen. You are a pig, and we all came from muck, maggots, fish and reptiles a very long time ago. Evolution asks us to not only accept the above, but breaks the first basic rule of science. No first cause. No first cause. Just published The Origin of Specious Nonsense. So this book, Atomic Bombs, the ridiculous idea that it just happened, that there's no first cause. Ridiculous. And in my next 7-minute thing, I'm going to show you what chance is. So they say it came from nothing, it is nothing, there is no God, no future. Ridiculous, ridiculous. Because when you see a flower, when you see two little kittens playing, when you see a baby, and when the husband and wife, or the man and the woman, whether they're married or not, see their little baby, the result of their love. Fantastic. Is there any feeling like it on this planet? Your own little child that looks a bit like you and a bit like the mother. It's wonderful, wonderful. Something that comes from love, a beautiful act. And 9 months later produces a child. And the 3,000 million chemical letters can all reproduce themselves. If you know the double helix it's called, if that was cut right up the middle, it would literally replicate itself. Now, here's a question. How do the cells know what to become? Because in 7 weeks, in 8 weeks, the entire organs, every single organ in the human body is constructed except the eyelashes and the nails. Nice one, until the 8th month. Wonderful. So how did this construction from one cell with 3,000 million chemical letters produce our blood system, our muscular system, our breathing system, our digestive system? You know, how? Our reproductive system, our brains, our hearts. And it's the absolute height of ridiculous nonsense to say that it just happened. That just happened. How? Oh, well, the chemicals came together somehow. One of the tricks of evolutionists is time. They say it all happened millions and billions of years ago. In this week's National Geographic, 4-million-year-old woman. Bullshit! They cannot tell you what happened 400 years ago in the middle of the desert. They're guessing. They're guessing. And when they find skulls the paleontologists and the anthropologists, they think, oh, this is millions of years old. Ridiculous. All the fossils that are in all the museums in the world are always fully formed. There may be parts missing, but they're always fully formed. The next lecture will continue on Facebook. John J. May.